Have you ever felt like no matter how much you try, you still don't understand what mastery really means? Why some people keep improving quietly, while others keep chasing but never grow? Why certain people remain calm even when life gets hard, while others fall apart the moment things go wrong? There's a reason for that. And the answer was written almost 400 years ago by a samurai named Miyamoto Musashi. Before he died, he wrote down everything he learned about life, combat, and discipline in a book called Gorin no Sho, or the Book of 5 Rings. In this video, we'll explore what those 5 rings truly mean and how they can help you live with focus, strength, and peace. Before we begin, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to Echoes of Wisdom and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback means a lot. It helps me understand what connects with you, and it keeps this channel growing in the right direction. Back to the story with the first ring, the earth. Musashi began his teachings with the earth. He said it represents the foundation, the part of life that never moves, even when everything else does. The earth is about being grounded. It's about discipline, patience, and knowing where you stand before you start to move. Without it, every goal becomes unstable. You can be fast, smart, talented, but without grounding, you'll always fall back to the same place. Many people build their lives like towers without roots, and one of them was a man named Brian. Brian was the kind of man everyone called successful. He graduated top of his class, worked for a global firm, owned a sleek apartment, expensive suits, and a calendar filled with meetings. He was sharp, logical, fast, always on top of things. If you asked him what he wanted, he'd say to keep moving forward. And that's what he did. He kept moving, always. But under all that motion, something was missing. He didn't know what he was standing for. He didn't have roots, only speed. And the faster he moved, the more unstable his world became. Every achievement gave him a short burst of pride, followed by a longer silence he couldn't explain. He'd scroll through his phone at midnight, comparing his pace to others, telling himself he needed to do more. Then one day, it all cracked. A project failed. His boss blamed him. And just like that, the man who seemed unshakable fell apart. He stopped sleeping, stopped eating. He stared at the ceiling every night, wondering why all his progress felt like running in circles. That's when the truth hit him. He had built his life on air, no ground, no roots, only movement and fear of stopping. Musashi once said, without a stance, the sword is useless. For Brian, that stance was missing. He had mastered speed, but not stillness. He could plan everything except himself. And that's the lesson of the earth. Before you try to move faster, you must first learn how to stand. Because strength without grounding is just noise that fades with time. The next ring is water. After finding his ground with the earth, Musashi taught that a warrior must now learn how to move and yet remain unshaken. He called this balance Fudoshin, the immovable mind. It is not about standing still, but about staying calm, no matter how much the world around you moves. Water flows freely, yet its depth is steady. It adapts to every shape, but never loses its nature. That is the essence of the water ring, to act with calm, to change without losing yourself, to move with life, not against it. And that's the lesson Brian would soon have to learn. Months had passed since his breakdown. The noise in his head had faded, and for the first time, he felt like his life was steady. But life doesn't stay quiet for long. One morning, the company he worked for was sold. New management, new systems, new expectations. Suddenly, everything Brian had rebuilt started to shift again. The pressure returned, emails, deadlines, meetings that never ended. The old anxiety began to creep back in, and deep down, he could feel it. The same fire that once burned him out, starting to rise again. But this time, he didn't fight it. He remembered what he had learned. He took a breath, closed his eyes, and let the storm move without reacting to it. He didn't rush to fix everything. He focused on what he could control, his tone, his breath, his rhythm. Slowly, he began to see patterns where others saw panic. While everyone around him stressed, he remained composed. He adapted to changes without losing his pace. That was his Fudoshin, his unshakable center in motion. Musashi wrote, "In the midst of battle, your mind must remain still. Only then can your strike be true." Brian finally understood those words. He realized that calm isn't weakness, it's mastery. Because only when your mind is still can your actions be precise. And as he walked home that evening, watching the rain ripple across the pavement, he smiled. The world would keep changing, but this time, he wouldn't be swept away. He had become like water, calm, adaptable, and unshaken. The next ring is fire. Musashi wrote that fire is the element of battle, the rhythm of timing, motion, and decisive intent. He said, hesitation is defeat, but so is impatience. Fire is not about rage, it is focus, pure energy guided by clarity. When your mind, breath, and body move as one, that is Ki, the strike of spirit. It's not a shout, it's the silence before a perfect action. A moment where awareness and will become one. And that's what Brian needed to rediscover. After finding calm in the water, he became cautious. Maybe too cautious. He feared breaking his peace, so he began avoiding challenges. He called it balance, but deep down he knew it was hesitation. Then one morning, his team faced a critical decision, a project that could fail or define their future. Everyone waited for Brian to act. He closed his eyes, took one breath, and felt everything slow down. The noise disappeared. The fear faded. Only intention remained. And in that stillness, he moved. No overthinking. No doubt. Just action rooted in calm. That was his Ki. Not force, but precision. Musashi wrote, "In fire, know the rhythm of the moment and strike only when the time is right." For the first time, Brian understood. True mastery wasn't in endless motion, but in knowing when to move and when to be still. The earth had given him balance. The water had given him calm. But the fire had given him clarity. When the flames settle, what remains is the wind, the quiet force that observes all things. Musashi wrote that to master the way, you must understand more than your own path. The wind is awareness, the discipline of perception. It is the art of seeing without judgment and learning without attachment. Most warriors cling to their style, their rhythm, their truth. They think their way is the only way. But Musashi said, know the way broadly, and you will see it in all things. The wind teaches us to observe, to look beyond our habits, beyond our certainty, beyond the walls of our own thinking. In the way of the wind, you learn that strength is not control, but understanding. And when your awareness remains even after the moment passes, that is Zanshin, the lingering mind that stays awake, steady, and aware. The wind carries no shape of its own, yet it moves through everything. It does not resist, it simply knows. And that is its mastery, to see all paths, but walk none with pride. If you've made it this far, thank you. It means you didn't just listen. You walked through each ring and took the lessons with you. I truly appreciate your time. and your presence on this journey. Before we step into the final ring, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. Your reflection might help someone else find their own way. Now, let's step into the final lesson. After earth comes balance. After water comes calm. After fire comes clarity. After wind comes nothing. This is the void. Musashi called it ku, the emptiness that holds all things. It cannot be seen, but it is everywhere. It cannot be named, but it gives meaning to every name. The void is not absence. It is awareness so complete that it no longer needs to think. When the mind stops grasping for control, when it stops dividing right from wrong, strong from weak, then clarity appears. Effortless and pure. That is where mastery ends and understanding begins. Musashi wrote, "When nothing is in the mind, you see the way as it truly is." This is the heart of Heijo Shin, the ordinary mind. A mind that does not seek victory or peace, because it already moves in both. It acts without hesitation and rests without guilt. It does not rise or fall with success, because it is free from needing to win. When you reach this point, there is nothing left to prove. The sword, the struggle, the self, all become one. And in that silence, you understand what Musashi truly meant. The way is in the mind, and the mind is free. If this journey spoke to you, don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Echoes of Wisdom. Until next time, stay grounded, stay calm, and keep walking the way.